Hey everybody, I am so excited to share this project with you. It is part of a YouTube hop hosted by Susan Hiles. So be sure to check the description box. I will have all of the participants' YouTube channels listed down below. I don't know who else is involved in this YouTube hop. When I accepted to do it, when I accept to do things like this, I don't really care who else is involved. If I can, I'll do it. So yeah, it's going to be a surprise for me as well. So I can't wait to see everybody's projects. Also, all of the supplies will be listed down in the description box as well. And so be sure to check it out if you are interested in any of the supplies. Let's see if I'm missing anything. I don't think so. So I am going to start my project using a round canvas. I get mine from Hobby Lobby, and I added some white gesso, and now I'm adding some stamping with some archival ink. And if you are new to mixed media, sometimes you look at somebody creating a project like this and say, well, why are you going to do all of that work and then cover it up? It's hard to tell on video and in pictures. Every layer that you add, every element that you add, embellishment, texture, stamping, paper, whatever you add, it all plays a part in the end result. And it is hard to tell that, especially if you're new to mixed media, or if you're just watching the videos. It's really hard to picture all of that playing a part in the end result, especially if you're just seeing me cover it all up. But I promise you, every layer and everything is worth it in the end. So I added some texture with a Finnabair stencil and some of the paper texture paste, which is one of my favorite texture pastes to use. It takes color really well, and it dries pretty fast too. And I'm going to let that dry, and now I am going to paint some embellishments. This is a shutter from Prima. And then I have some clay pieces and some resin pieces. A lot of these things I don't use in the end, but I like to pull a bunch of things out and then prep them and see if they're going to work on my project. Because when I am in the flow of things and going, if I don't have it near me, I'm not going to use it. My brain does not work like that. So I have to pull out a bunch of things, even if it's 10 times too many things that I would use on a project. At least I have it near me, so I have the option to use it if I want to. All right, so I am going to start gluing things down. I wanted the shutter to be sort of in the background and have the gorgeous Dress My Craft papers to be more of the focal point, I guess. And the paper collection is called Pink Smoke. It is absolutely gorgeous. I used the cut apart pages and just cut out a bunch of different elements from the paper so that I can layer them on top of each other and layer them all together to create this canvas that I made. So as you can see here, I am adding the elements that I cut out, and I'm using Fabri-Tac. It is my glue of choice. I absolutely love it. I've never really had any issues, except if I use it like metal onto glass or something. You definitely need to use like E6000 if you're doing like metal to metal or metal to glass or plastic to glass, something like that. You definitely need to use something a little bit more sturdy and durable. I'm basically just gluing paper to paper, so I'm just using the Fabri-Tac. So I have a 49N Market chipboard piece, and I just added a little bit of white gesso just to tone down that yellow tone that it has. Sometimes I will heat emboss my chipboard with white embossing powder to make them really stark white, but I didn't want everything to be super white. I didn't mind that little yellow tone that it has. So I am now just kind of placing all of the little flowers that I cut out from the collection here and there. And this collection is so gorgeous. Dress My Craft has some amazing papers. So if you haven't seen them, I will have a link down below. She has so many wonderful things to choose from. Shalini does. She's the owner. She is so amazing. She sent me so many goodies. I am so appreciative of her. So let's see. I am kind of just playing around with placement. Off camera, I did kind of place everything where I thought I would want things. And then what I do is I then take a picture, and then when I'm filming, it makes it a little bit easier. I don't do this all the time, but for this, I didn't want to be fiddling around too much with placement and things, because then it's takes a long time to edit a video that way. So I placed everything beforehand, took a picture, and then I'm kind of going off of that. As you could see my phone to the lower left corner there. I'm trying to see where I had everything. All right, so I am adding some Prima flowers, and then again, just placing the cut apart, or the flowers that I cut out of the collection, kind of behind different elements and on top and just kind of everywhere. I wanted some of the composition to come down a little bit more, so I am adding that piece there. And then I also added down there just a minute ago a not resin, paper clay mold from Prima. I have a bunch of these on hand. I get some clay and I just spend a little bit of time making all of my favorites, so I have them on hand so I can just kind of grab and create, as you know, so I don't have to stop and make these embellishments while I am in the zone of creating a project. So I am going to add more flowers here and there. And again, with mixed media, it's all about layering and adding different textures and different elements to create a really cool project, whether it's a canvas or a card or, you know, an altered project. Definitely different types of textures, and like I have paper and then the paper flowers, and I put some thread on there, then I have the chipboard, so all of that really helps bring everything together and make it look really cool, I think. This is probably one of my favorite projects that I've made in a long time. I have been struggling a lot with finding my creativeness to just come natural again, I guess. It feels just forced a lot lately, but after I cut everything out of from the Dress My Craft papers, it just came to me so easy. So hopefully my mojo and my creative flow is coming back, and it will just be a little bit easier for me to create. So I am just adding more elements. I add some of the Melange pebbles that I added some gesso to. I'm adding more of the paper embellishments that I cut out, more little Prima flowers and different things like that. Also, if you are wanting a little bit more in-depth teaching or just talking through projects, I have a workshop. I will have a link in the description box for that as well. It's called Just Start. It features 4 totally different projects, and I talk about just how to start a project, my tips and tricks on what I do to do that. So if you're interested in that, it will be listed down below as well. All right, so I wanted to add a little bit of color, not too much. I really wanted a lot of white space. So what I'm doing is I have some Art Alchemy acrylic paint, the Impasto paint. And this color is Dusty Rose. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's so gorgeous. So I water it down a little bit. I add a little bit of water to the canvas as well. And then I add the color with a paintbrush, and then I am dabbing up some of it. That way it kind of just blends out a little bit better. I don't really like stark lines when it comes to coloring or that kind of thing. So I like everything to just kind of blend out really nicely. So I am going to continue to add that here and there. And you can really see all of that texture paste and that design from that the stencil that I used early on. And I'm going to go in with a darker color now. This one is Aubergine. I believe I have it right here. Let me make sure. Sorry for my squeaky chair. It is, yes, Aubergine. And I mix it a little bit in with the Dusty Rose just because I didn't want it to be too dark, but I did want a little bit more depth to the project. So when you're doing this, you definitely want to start off with the lighter color first. And, you know, whether you're using sprays or paint or whatever, I always like to use a paintbrush or use the nozzle of a spray bottle instead of spraying directly onto my project. That way I have a little bit more control of where I'm putting it and how much is on there. And again, having some paper towels or baby wipes nearby so you can quickly pick up some of that color if you add too much to the project. And again, I am adding a little bit of water so that it kind of flows where it wants to. And this way it helps get in all of those grooves of that stencil design from earlier. And I am absolutely loving this. This is, again, probably one of my favorite projects I've made. I am going to add some gesso to the flowers. I do this often. I feel it just kind of pulls everything together and just ties everything really nicely together. All right, this is a Prima embellishment. It says Memory Lane. When I thought of doing this project, and I guess the prompt or the title of this hop, I had a little bit of a different idea in mind. I wanted to kind of do like a memory box with the shutters that close and then you open and then you could see a photo of my kids. But you know, in the end, it didn't work out that way, and that's totally fine because I absolutely love how it turned out. I am just kind of finishing up little touches here and there, blotting up some of that color and kind of adding other little embellishments here and there. I absolutely love these. I think they're called street signs, maybe. I love them so much. They're a little bit hard to find, but if you can find them, they're definitely worth it. They're really pretty. So let's see. Oh, now I'm going to add probably one of my favorite products from Dress My Craft. They are little teeny tiny like micro beads or like little pearls almost. So what I'm doing is I have a little bit of 3D matte gel and I put some on my paintbrush, and then I'll dip the paintbrush in that little bottle there with all of those beads in it, and it picks them up, and then I'll kind of smush them all over where I want them. I don't add too many, but just enough to add, again, another layer of texture and interest to the project. I absolutely love adding like chunky glitter or like beads like this or mica flakes, something extra for interest for this type of project. And the 3D matte gel dries clear and matte, so you can see all of those cool little beads in the end. All right, so to finish it off, I, of course, need some white splatters. If you are new to my channel, I love adding splatters to all of my projects, and my favorite way to do this is using the Distress Spray in Picket Fence. It's very opaque and I don't have to mix anything together. A long time ago, I used to do gesso and water. It just kind of got a little bit too messy, and I don't even remember why I decided to try the Distress Spray and Picket Fence, but I did, and I'm so glad. I'm still working on my first bottle, and it's been quite a long time because I really only use it to add splatters. So it definitely does last a long time if you're just using it for splatters. All right, one of the last things that I'm doing is adding a little bit more texture and interest with some Nuvo drops. This is white, and I love adding little tiny, well, I guess they're little drops. And Nuvo drops come in so many different colors, and they add just a little extra touch to your project. And you're definitely going to have to let those dry before doing anything else if you wanted to do anything else to a project. Showing you guys an up close look at how it turned out. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and be sure to check out the description so you guys can check out everybody else's videos. If you are new to my channel, I hope you hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment down below letting me know if you liked my project. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I truly appreciate it. And here's a couple more videos you might enjoy. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.